So what the heck just happened here? It turns out they actually just released a Vanguard familiar for Sasuke, which is absolutely crazy. So I was actually expecting Sasuke to get a Vanguard familiar back then. But the thing is, I actually have him shiny. You know, I kind of got him shiny a while ago, which is pretty nice. And it turns out we are literally getting a Vanguard familiar for him, and the quest for him is starting now, but we still don't have his passives though. But again, we already do have his Vanguard familiar. The event is active right now, it's already live, and we are literally able to start farming for him right now, which is absolutely crazy. This is very interesting to me because Sasuke, there's no Vanguard familiar, or there's no actual quest or update for Naruto yet, which is very interesting. And this is actually, you know, the first thing we're actually gonna get for Naruto in a while. We did get something for Kage, but the fact that we're gonna get something for Sasuke right now is nice. But also, this is very interesting because this also kind of means that the chances of us getting something for Sasuke, like a Vanguard quest for Sasuke, is quite unlikely, because they wouldn't give him a Vanguard familiar if they're going to update him soon. So the fact that he's getting a Vanguard familiar now also kind of means that he won't be getting anything for a decent amount of time, which is a problem if you are a Naruto fan. But again, this is pretty good because at least we're gonna get something for Sasuke. At least he's gonna get a Vanguard familiar. It could also be that we're gonna get something for Naruto, but potentially not for Sasuke, which is very interesting. We could get Baryon mode Naruto, and then Sasuke just as a Vanguard familiar. So both of them can have a Vanguard form. We can get Naruto Vanguard quest. We could get Sasuke Vanguard familiar. Yo, I'm cooking here. I'm actually cooking. So this is it right here, the Last of the Clan event. It's already active right now. And basically, you have to clear 25 stages, the usual 25 stages right here, to get the Eye of Despair. It's gonna take 5 days. Yeah, pretty crazy here. So pretty nice. We're gonna get a Vanguard familiar. And okay, the first thing I really want to see here, really, with Sasuke, is for this guy, for the passive to come out, because we don't see the passive out yet, which is really sad. All right, we now understand, or we now know what it does. So I think now that we know what it does, we can finally tell how it potentially works and whether or not it's worth getting Monarch on. And the answer to that is no, not really. So right here is the passive. This is essentially how it works. Between 2 lightning units, between himself and 1 spark unit in range, he will create an arc like that will deal 40% of his damage per second. This is somewhere around 200,000 DPS, I think. In that arc, it's somewhere around 180 to 200,000 DPS within that arc, but only within that arc. So by the way, since this counts as an attack, every unit that passes that arc will actually get stunned. So my advice is to not reroll on this unit until we obtain him, because this unit, he just doesn't seem that very overpowered just yet. He doesn't seem that very overpowered, so I would wait for testing to come out and for people to actually test it out before re-rolling. I think that's the smartest option right now. So yeah. So what does his actual current normal self look like right here? So his normal self is damage plus 2% with each consecutive attack on the same enemy. All attacks inflict stun on enemies. Damage plus 50% to enemies that have been stunned. So he does have a stun passive, which is pretty good. That actually kind of makes him somewhat useful in most scenarios, at the very least, that makes him somewhat useful. So let's try him out actually right now and see what he's capable of without this Vanguard familiar. Because if he's pretty good, relatively good without this Vanguard familiar, then if he gets a Vanguard familiar, he's going to be insane, right? So I want to see actually just how good he is in let's do Sand Village right here. So right here, I think we'll actually do Thrice, because some Quake is gonna absolutely cook them. So this is a legend stage right here. Actually, you know what, let's hop off here. I don't want to take this. Alright, so here we are in challenges, and I want to see how good he is here. Oftentimes, if they are pretty good, I know Sasuke is very outdated now, obviously, but if he is even somewhat good, yeah, the stuns are actually somewhat there, especially since he is he's a 4 placement unit. So being that he's a 4 placement unit, something like Ethereal might actually be pretty good on him. And the stuns are actually not really that bad, right? He's actually really able to stun enemies. Obviously, there's gonna be better stun options now. but he's not all that bad, all things considered. So yeah, you can see right here that he's actually able to stun the enemy. So yeah, the stunning here is actually pretty good. So again, even if you don't have him like obviously a Monarch, I think the Vanguard Familiar might still be somewhat useful, especially if they add like a new effect to it. He can stun people, right? His stuns are actually relatively decent. Obviously, there are gonna be better stuns, a million times better stuns than him in comparison to him, but still, it's pretty good. Let's take a look at his AoE right here. I want to see his AoE, how good his AoE is. Obviously, I'm not gonna update Sukuna that much because otherwise, he'd get absolutely mogged. So his AoE at the beginning and range is kind of bad. Obviously, the Vanguard Familiar is probably gonna improve his range as well. Alright, so let me just actually kind of take a look deeper into this Vanguard Familiar itself. A lot of people are saying it's kind of bad. Again, like I said in the beginning, do not reroll on it until it's out. Only reroll on it once YouTubers or yourself has actually tested the unit, tested it in sandbox mode. That's the best way to approach this because the numbers itself, and this is actually pretty complicated passive, right? It's not really a passive wherein it's very obvious how strong this unit is going to be. You need to test this unit before it actually comes out, or after it comes out, before re-rolling on it. But what I would say is that this unit is interesting in the sense that it can create an arc of lightning, such as this one right here, between itself and one spark unit in range. So only one spark unit in range, so one arc of lightning basically. It will deal 40% of this unit's damage per second and count as an attack. And the reason why it counts as an attack is because Sasuke himself has a passive that every consecutive attack on an enemy will deal 2% more damage. Which means that this can deal pretty decent damage, but also since Sasuke has a stun, every attack Sasuke does is a stun, every unit or every enemy that passes through that arc of lightning will basically automatically be stunned, apart from Sasuke's own attack, essentially. So this is pretty good. It's pretty nice. But the problem with this is, obviously, we can't see the damage right now yet, and we haven't tested it yet. But the problem with this also is how good would the stun be? It's basically just gonna act as an auto stun. But how good is it really going to be? Because there's a thing called stun lockout. You can't infinitely stun or stun lock enemies. So there's a stun cooldown. So obviously, it's not really going to be too overpowered. So even though it's gonna be pretty good, I still don't see it being top tier to the point where you would want to spend rerolls on it, especially as a free-to-play player. Personally, I would recommend to just skip this Vanguard Familiar as a whole, especially if you don't like Sasuke. He seems pretty overpowered, but I think the best thing that you can do right now is to just do this quest and wait until YouTubers or myself or other people have tested it, and then decide whether you want to get it. And if you don't want to get it, just spend the currency that you've been farming on rerolls or Phoenix shards. So farm it for 5 days, 6 days, or however long. And then once people have tested it and a common consensus has come out on whether or not he's good or bad, then if you still want to buy him, right? If he's good, then buy him. And then if he's bad and people say he's mid, if you still want to buy him, buy him. But honestly, at that point, it's not worth it. Just invest on rerolls for the next Vanguard unit that's going to be coming out. Which again, we are going to talk about this because take a look at this. 18 days. 18 days is literally 3 weeks. Is that how long this update's going to take? Man, that's crazy. Update 9.5 is going to take 3 more weeks. That's kind of wild, man. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace out, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and sub.